in England from Monday, we're introducing the rule of 6. You must not meet socially in groups of more than 6, and if you do, you will be breaking the law. This will apply in any setting, indoors or outdoors, at home or in the pub. The ban will set out in law and it will be enforced by the police. And anyone breaking the rules risks being dispersed, fined and possibly arrested. This single measure replaces both the existing ban on gatherings of more than 30 and the current guidance on allowing 2 households to meet indoors. Now you only need to remember the rule of 6. There will be some limited exemptions. For example, if a single household or support bubble is larger than 6, then obviously they can still gather. COVID-secure venues like places of worship, gyms, restaurants, hospitality venues can still hold more than 6 in total. Within those venues, however, there must not be individual groups larger than 6, and groups must not mix socially or form larger groups. Education and work settings are unaffected. COVID-secure weddings and funerals can go ahead up to a limit of 30 people, and organised sport will still be able to proceed. As we found on previous occasions, this rule of 6 will of course throw up difficult cases. For example, 2 whole households will no longer be able to meet if they would together exceed the limit of 6 people. And I'm sorry about that, and I wish that we did not have to take this step. But as your Prime Minister, I must do what is necessary to stop the spread of the virus and to save lives. And of course, we will keep the rule of 6 under constant review and only keep it in place as long as it's necessary. I also want to see, and the public wants to see, stronger enforcement of the rules which are already in place. So I've tasked the Cabinet with increasing enforcement, and I would like to thank the police, as always, and other authorities for the work they're doing to keep us all safe. In future, premises and venues where people meet socially will be legally required to request the contact details of a member of every party, record and retain these details for 21 days, and provide them to NHS Test and Trace without delay when required. We will support local authorities to make further and faster use of their powers to close venues that are breaking the rules and pose a risk to public health. Fines will be levied against hospitality venues that fail to ensure their premises remain COVID secure. We will boost the enforcement capacity of local authorities by introducing COVID-secure marshals to help ensure social distancing in town and city centres, and by setting up a register of environmental health officers that local authorities can draw upon for support. We will simplify the passenger locator form needed for travelling to the UK and take measures to ensure these are completed and checked before departure. Border Force will step up enforcement efforts at the border to ensure arrivals are complying with the quarantine rules. We will also restrict the opening hours of premises initially in some local areas. At the present time, we must also, I'm afraid, revise plans to pilot larger audiences in venues later this month and review our intention to return audiences to stadiums and conference centres from the 1st of October. That doesn't mean we're going to scrap the programme entirely. We just have to review it and abridge it, and the Culture Secretary will say more about that shortly. I want to be absolutely clear. These measures are not another national lockdown. The whole point of them is to avoid a second national lockdown.